Hello, good morning. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and we're going to talk about these energies today for the collective for Thursday, September the 19th. So stick around, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're resonating with the message. I always like to talk about what comes through in my intuitive downloads when channeling the daily astrology, and then I like to jump in with the cards. So let's talk about these energies. What I kept being shown was a very prominent energy of the Ace of Wands with the Hermit, along with the Hermit and the Eight of Cups. And so somebody here is in a massive time period of introspection and self-discovery. That's what the Hermit is. The Hermit takes time to go within, takes time to take a step back and go through introspection and shine a light on this search for deeper meaning in their life. And so I think it is time to take a step back. I do feel somebody here is embarking upon a new spiritual quest. Maybe it's you, but this is all about finding creative inspiration. And so there's inner wisdom that we gain when we go into states of solitude. And so there's something here that maybe you need to leave behind in order to really embark on a new journey of personal transformation. So what is it that you need to shed when it comes to some old skin? What is it that you need to reflect upon when it comes to some past patterns? And what is it that you need to clear the path with when it comes to making space for the new? And so it is kind of time to make a decision. There was very prominent throat chakra pressure in my channeling, and what I heard was healing family wounds. And so this is all about embracing your empathy, finding compassion within the lesson, and opening up to new innovative thinking and new ideas. And so it is time to take a step back, I feel, from the hustle and the bustle of daily life, which is why I kind of decided to take a day off. I was busy with readings, homeschooling, and I just needed to take a step back. I'm starting to feel a little bit overwhelmed with the heaping plate that I'm kind of being served right now when it comes to all of my responsibilities. And so this energy really is asking us all, I think, to seek some new spiritual values. We just had that eclipse energy, the partial eclipse in Pisces. And so depending on where that eclipse kind of hit you at in your birth chart, this really is asking you to find some new spiritual values and goals, and then to start heading in that direction. And so for me, it's been a lot of careful consideration of like, hey, where am I going next? How am I going to handle this heaping plate of responsibilities? And so I've kind of taken a step back from the hustle and the bustle to go into like a state of consideration. And so this is all about gathering the facts, gathering information. And so these eclipse energies are really awakening anything dormant. And so I know there's been a lot of activations. There's been a lot of energy, like buzzing energy in the collective. And so what is it that you need to reflect upon when it comes to your current beliefs, your current values, and what is it that you need to kind of release out of your life before you can embark on this brand new journey? And so we all have to get to a point where we are willing to take a leap of faith. To take a leap of faith is to kind of jump into the void, jump into the unknown, and to embrace any new opportunities that might be landing on your doorstep over the coming weeks. And so take a step back today. Take stock of all of your relationships, maybe even reviewing all of your past relationships. And what is it that you need to do to create some positive change in your life? And so we all are here to create balance, to come into this state of alignment, but that does require radical self-accountability. And then we have to take accountability for all of that past actions and behaviors that we've played into, so we can clear the path for something new. And so I was really shown the energies of doubling down on the devil. Doubling down on the devil. And so with these energies coming through, I felt this overwhelming, evoking sense of fear and anxiety and guilt and depression and addiction. And so you could be dealing with somebody that is feeling trapped in a situation riddled with restrictions, doubling down on the devil, or this could be you. Either way, I just feel this is a very important time of balancing our energies, balancing our rational thought with all of these deep-seated emotional impulses. And so if you think of doubling down on the devil card is key 15 in the tarot. So 15, 15. is actually master number 66. And so master numbers are actually very karmic because it does signify a testing time of creating balance. And so these energies really are bringing to the surface everything misaligned, everything out of balance, in order to create a certain level of fairness. And so this energy really is encouraging compromise and cooperation. And so the inner lessons are always going to be the same as the outer lessons. And so whatever is being reflected externally, there's an inner lesson that kind of needs to be mastered. So let's go a little bit further with the cards. Let's see what other messages need to come through for the collective today. We're going to start off by setting the tone with the Crystal Stone deck. What other messages need to come through? So sharpen your focus. You might want to work with some fluorite and shungite. Excellent stone for getting real with your truth. And so this Pisces eclipse had several aspects that were basically saying, hey, you can run, you can hide as much as you'd like to try, but these energies are saying you got to get real with something here that you've been in denial about. And so this is about getting real with some truth. And so maybe it's time to reclaim your energy from whoever or whatever has been consuming your energy and draining you. And so I do think this is about a reality check, getting really honest with yourself, especially if you've been feeling perpetually distracted. And so we all can create a vision and a life that we want for ourselves, but we do have to step into our power and we do have to take charge of our life no matter where we are at. And so if you find yourself being constantly tempted, then maybe you need to reevaluate. And so I think somebody here really needs to wake up. Somebody here also, I feel, might have some bottled up emotions that need to be released. But let's get a few of these cards out and let's see what else needs to come through for a message today for the collective. Keep in mind, guys, Tarot, Oracle, these are just energies. They're readings here to help guide you, to give you a nudge in the right direction. I'm not here to tell you what to do. The cards aren't here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to encourage you to maybe see a new perspective, to open up to the pathway of creating the life you want. So let's get into it, guys. Let's see what needs to come through. If you are looking to book a more personalized message, do feel free to check out the description box below or the comment section below. And there you will find a link to my webpage to book a reading with me. So we get Chrysoprase. This is asking you to grow from your heart. And so maybe you are in a situation where you're feeling like a doormat, and maybe you've avoided breaking free because maybe you don't want to hurt somebody, or maybe you're dealing with somebody that has hurt you the most. And so forgiveness, that's been loud for me too. And so it is kind of time to forgive. It's time to forgive the past. We never, ever really forget. I know sometimes we go through endings and it feels like we're never going to get over the hurdle, that we're going to be upset forever. But there's something about healing the inner child. And so the green light to go forward is here. You are being asked to evolve out of a situation where there's been a lot of hurt. And so sometimes it's our parents that hurt us the most. Sometimes it's a lover that hurts us the most. Actually, what I do believe is we hurt ourselves the most by denying our truth. And so how can you enhance your vision? Maybe working with the crystal quartz, but it is time to step into your mission. It is time to get busy when it comes to the collective mission. And so Gemini energy, you could be a Gemini, you could have prominent Gemini in your chart, you could be dealing with a Gemini. But, you know, whatever feels impossible really isn't impossible. And so it's kind of time to break free from all of the limitations that you believe about yourself, all of the limitations that the mind puts in front of you. And so quartz will help you break through illusions to get real with your truth. And then we get chrysocolla, actually one of my favorite stones. And so this is about learning to mother and nurture yourself. And so in order to clear up and open up the channels of communication with spirit and your higher self and with others, you do have to speak your truth. And so somebody here has a big time throat chakra block. And so maybe you can't ever find the right words to say. But there's something about a very complex situation coming through here that needs to reach completion. And so maybe there's some type of entanglement here that you need to break free from. But somebody here, I think, has been made to feel really, really, really small. And when we are overly emotionally vulnerable, then we are susceptible to all kinds of triggers. And so if somebody is trying to trigger you, maybe somebody's trying to parent you. If you are in a relationship and your spouse is trying to behave like a mother or a father to you, you are needing to remember, hey, you are a grown-up. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. I think somebody here needs to keep their cool. I do feel the energy is feeling a little bit angry, and then we get Kunzite on the bottom of the deck. And so this is about opening up the channels to spirit. And so sometimes we go through these energy shifts, and it's really hard to describe what it is that we're going through. I know there's been a lot of energy coming through of like the buzzing, of the whole buzzing sensation throughout the body. And so I do feel that is due to the glow of the lunar eclipse. But this really is about learning to hold yourself in times of challenges, to hold yourself in times of breakups and disappointment, because I do feel these eclipse energies over the coming weeks are going to bring in major disappointments, major endings, major breakups, maybe with somebody that you thought was never going to leave your life. And so stop beating yourself up. This is where we learn to mother ourselves. And so you don't need permission to be here. You don't need permission to go after what it is that you want. You belong simply because you are here. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. And so amidst it all, there is some type of awakening here with Serpentine. And so to go through this awakening is to activate the snake energy, the Kundalini energy at the base of the spine. And so the buzzing energy, I feel, is the circulating Kundalini energy rising, so we can finally let go of all of these tired beliefs, all of these old cycles, so we can heal the ancestral karma, the family patterns. And so in order to get unstuck out of this very stuck energy, you do have to kind of rip off the Band-Aid. And so sometimes we go into these very toxic relationship cycles to serve as a mirror when it comes to having family issues that need to be healed. And then we've done enough healing and we got to rip the Band-Aid off. And then after the Band-Aid gets ripped off, we kind of have to regroup our energies. And so there's something about releasing a very dramatic situation. When I think of Serpentine, I think of a snake. And so let's go a little bit further with the tarot. Let's see what other messages need to come through today. Well, there is a rebalancing here. There's some type of rebalancing. And so the Six of Pentacles is kind of like the Justice card in the minor arcana, and it's indicative of Taurus energy. And then we get the Page of Cups. And so the Page of Cups is saying, hey, there is a brand new beginning here. This is asking you to do some deep emotional exploration into some inner child wounding, I feel. So explore, search for the youth, search for that inner child. Tell that inner child how much you love them, and create that balance. And so the Six of Pentacles is all about equanimity, equal giving and receiving. And eventually what you put out there will come back to you. And so I feel this has to do with the energy of Venus and Libra. We have Venus and Libra right now. So I could be speaking to a Taurus or a Libra. But this is like the universe is going to bring you something to balance it out, is really what it feels like. So let's go a little bit further and let's get into it, guys. Let's see what other messages need to come through for the collective today, but it really is feeling like a new beginning here. So let's do it. Let's cut the deck. Let's do 9 cards, and let's see what kind of a message we're in store for today. We get the Knight of Wands straight out the gate. I feel Sagittarius energy. The Empress reversed. There's that Taurus Libra. And we get the Ten of Wands. So there's a long-standing burden here that needs to be released. We're going to get them all out before I really dig into this. There's the Death energy, Scorpio energy. This is an ending. This is a major ending. And so there could be somebody holding you back from taking action. But there is an ending that is going to lead to a new spiritual quest. The Palace of Wands is inspiration. It's creativity. And then we get the Magician reversed. And so somebody here, I feel, might be laying down their manipulative ways. The Magician reversed is like a pathological liar, a manipulator, somebody here that, you know, likes to pull the wool over somebody's eyes. The Ten of Swords in reversed. We get the Eight of Swords in reversed. And we get the Three of Cups in reverse. So this is the end of third party. I do feel somebody here needs to release a situation, maybe with somebody that doesn't recognize their value. I also feel there's third party here. This is like a separation, maybe from a whole social group. I'm hearing social injustice. And this is breaking you free from a very toxic pattern. And so this is the energy of, hey, the worst is already over. This could be a past betrayal coming back to haunt somebody. And so this is like a death to the old way of being is really what it's feeling like. And so this is going to break you free from third party. And that is really what the Twin Flame Collective came here to do. And so we came here to heal. We came here to sit with this truth, heal our hearts so we can move forward into a new cycle. And so we get Libra energy, Jupiter energy, and we do have a realignment here. And so this is like a very delayed new beginning, a delayed new beginning. And so maybe for the last couple of years, somebody has really thought about releasing a situation where there's been a lack of love. There could be a major heart chakra activation. I just looked up at the timer and I noticed 15. And so doubling down on that devil energy. And so Uranus is kind of coming in to shake things up. And this is saying, hey, take that leap of faith, jump into the void. This is the Aries energy of the Fool. And so somebody here could maybe be feeling very foolish because maybe they did squander an opportunity for big love, or maybe they're in a situation and it's loveless and there's the stress, there's the anxiety. But what I'm really feeling is somebody here really wants to go back and heal a situation. It doesn't have to be, but like time is of the essence. This very well could be a missed opportunity, and somebody here is getting a really rude awakening with the Tower reversed and the Three of Wands reversed. And so Aries energy, the Tower energy is Mars. It's the lower octave of Pluto. And we do have Pluto retrograde dipping back into Capricorn. And so something about the Cancer Capricorn axis is playing out. And there is a need to rebalance. Somebody here has been sleeping on some truth. Some truth might have recently been resurrected when it comes to recognizing a new beginning. But because this Ace of Coins is touching the Two of Coins in reverse, it's like, hey, there has to be a loss before you can go towards this new beginning. And somebody here, I feel, didn't want to sit with this truth, didn't want to recognize this truth. And there is some type of an awakening here for sure. The central energy is spiritual quest, inspiration, and creativity after an ending, after a very profound shedding and ending. And so what is the Death card? I do feel somebody here really needs to lay down a burden. Somebody here could have left a counterpart situation out in the cold. They had some wild oats to sow is really what it looks like. And they got to lay this down. They got to give it to God. And so the Empress reverse next to the Ten of Wands, this could be closing out a 10-year cycle. Maybe with a Sagittarius. It could be with a Sagittarius. But I feel somebody here really needs to find their drive to maybe admit the error of their ways. Let's clarify the Death energy. We get the Palace of Coins in reversed, the Ten of Cups in reversed, and the Eight of Coins. And so I do feel somebody here really is at a crossroads. This is about putting an end to an old way of being. And so it really is about love. It really is about emotional fulfillment. And when we put in the work to create a life that brings us joy and happiness, I see Mars and Pisces energy. It really isn't about building a foundation purely for financial gain. And so sometimes we do have to lose it all to go towards our happiness. But I do feel there's some type of ending when it comes to a path of materialism and greed. And there is a crossroads, but it is going to require rigorous, honest truth and growing from the heart for sure, with the Two of Swords in reversed. And so this is saying, hey, somebody's really been living with the rose-colored glasses on in a situation like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to know. I'm just going to turn a blind eye. But the path is here. The path is being presented. And this eclipse energy, I think, illuminated something about a high priestess, a divine feminine that I feel has maybe exposed something. But there is an intuitive here that knows something is coming her way. So I don't know. Let's clarify this Empress reversed. The Three of Swords. So there could be a karmic feminine energy here in the way of some type of reunion. And so the Empress reverses, this hurts, this is painful, this is a loss. This loss is going to change you forever. It could be the loss of a child. I'd hate to say that. It could be a miscarriage. It doesn't have to be. But the Empress in reverse is saying this is not fertile. There's some pain here. Somebody here is hurting. Maybe because they're coming into a realization that they've been dealing with a smiling liar for sure. And then we get the King of Cups. And then we get the Two of Cups. So I think there's an Empress here that maybe is realizing they've been dealing with somebody that doesn't have what it takes to give to them, but they want to go towards giving their love to somebody else. So I feel there is some type of third party situation here coming to a close. So let's clarify the Three of Cups in reverse, because this is saying, hey, you're free. You're free to go now, is really what it feels like. You're free to go. But it's going to require a shift in consciousness. It's going to require looking at things from a whole other angle. This is like breaking free from some type of an illusion. And we got a King of Swords up right now. And so somebody here is seeing the truth of a situation. They're cutting through illusions, but they're also losing faith. I think maybe they're losing faith because they need to go back to somebody that they didn't recognize their value in the first place. And now they're realizing, yep, that was my wish fulfillment. Now I gotta freaking go back and I gotta confess, and I really don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Somebody here is feeling like it's hopeless. So why should I even bother bringing an offer forward? What's the point? But the point is all about honesty and truth. And so you can keep yourself stuck in a state of grief and complacency and thinking about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas and what didn't turn out. Or you can maybe go forward with an apology, with an honest, open-hearted apology, and it might not lead to a new beginning, but it's going to break you free from this kind of energy of deep emotional discomfort. There is a masculine here struggling to break free from something very toxic, very unhealthy, but this is about bringing something back into balance with the Temperance card. And so there is a lesson being alchemized, and I do feel somebody has to go back to somebody that might even be in the public eye. I do feel this is about going back. There could also be somebody here holding on, but I feel there's a major fall from grace here, and somebody is definitely feeling like a sacred clown, and they're getting broken free. They're breaking free from a cage that they've been put into, and I do feel maybe on the flip side, this person did say a lot of sweet nothings to you or somebody else, but there's something about letting love come through, letting love rule. And so this is about recognizing, hey, that was a missed opportunity. Maybe it is too late to plant a new seed. I think somebody here wasted a lot of time on a dead-end situation, but they're getting ready to quickly depart, even though they're having a hard time finding their strength. But this is saying, hey, it's time to decide. It's time to make a choice. Do you want to keep repeating negative lessons, negative patterns over and over again? Do you want to keep repeating the same lesson over and over again? Or do you want to close out a cycle? Because somebody here keeps repeating negative patterns, and there's a need to cut through the illusion and the confusion. So let's get a closing message here on this one, and we're going to close it off with a Spiritual Journey Oracle card message. And so Rediscovery on the bottom of the deck is saying, hey, peel back the layers. I do think somebody is either seeing a person at face value or a situation at face value, and you're going to see something you didn't originally know. And so there's something very raw, I feel, when it comes to this truth, very raw emotions below the surface. So what's the closing message today? Find your truth. It is about truth. And so we can't really find that truth until we have deepened that relationship to ourselves. And so in order to deepen the relationship to yourself, you got to be the hermit. So we're right back to the start. You got to be the hermit. You got to spend time alone. You got to shine light on the negative vices. You got to figure out your soul's language. You got to figure out what motivates you, what brings you joy, what brings you happiness. You do have to master the art of self-love while finding that truth. Because when all of the misguided falsehoods come to light, there's anger, and we got to work through all of these emotions. And so anger really is just screaming, hey, there's some unresolved grief here. And so what is really speaking to your heart and your soul? Because it's time to develop your intuition. Somebody here, I feel, has had a gut feeling about a situation, and they've not been listening to their intuition, but your intuition always knows what's best for you. And so recognize where you've neglected yourself. I think there's a masculine here recognizing where they've neglected somebody else. We never stop growing. We never stop working on ourselves. Interesting. I kept hearing forgiveness before I sat down to record this reading. I was folding a load of laundry. I kept hearing the word forgiveness, and look at that on the bottom of the deck, forgiveness. And below that, light worker. And below that, psychic ability. And below that, we get find your tribe. And so that is definitely coinciding with the Three of Cups in reverse. This is like a breaking apart from a whole group of friends that really wear a lot of masks, okay? And so in order to really hone in on the psychic abilities and become the High Priestess, you do also have to go into solitude, and so forgiveness. That was loud in my mind, forgiveness. And so what is forgiveness? You don't actually have to forgive the other person. We don't do that for them. We forgive ourselves for not knowing better, for ignoring the red flags, for ignoring our intuition. We forgive ourselves because when we hold on to the pain and the anger and the bitterness, we're recreating negative attachments, and it holds us back from really going towards fulfillment. Do we need to see that person and have that face to face to have forgiveness? Absolutely not. But when we forgive somebody that has pained us, that has hurt us, that has betrayed us, we liberate ourselves from holding on to that pain, because it really does just keep us stuck. And so we are here to become powerful light workers. We are here to shine a light on humanity, to show compassion, to give forgiveness, and to develop our gifts. And so when there's a block on the heart or a block on the throat, makes it really hard to develop that intuition and these intuitive senses. And so it's kind of time to release everything depleting you, everything keeping you stuck, everything dragging you down, so you can seek out that divine romantic partnership. And so sometimes we have to go through several karmic cycles, and it will mirror a divine counterpart, twin flame connection. But this really is about asking yourself, is it contributing to my growth? Is it contributing to my soul? Whatever label you want to give any connection, is it contributing or is it depleting? And then you have to choose what is best from you from there on out. So take a step back, reevaluate your situation, take a step back from the busyness and the hustle and bustle, and really determine where it is you need to go, what it is you need to reflect on, so you can open up the channels of love and the channels of communication with your higher self. And that is the message today, guys. So if you would like to go further with a personal reading, check out the description box below. Also, if you would like to join the channel membership, there is a membership to the channel now. I go live every Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time, so you still got time to get in on the membership today for the live today at noon. I'd love to see you over there. And if not, I hope you have a great day, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.